The health union leader, Mr. Albert Spanswick, says the government is ready to offer more money to solve the 7-month hospital dispute, but he says the deal has to be worthwhile before it'll be recommended to members. Mr. Spanswick, chairman of the TUC Health Service Committee, said there is some money there, we've got to find out how much. The unions start talks with the government tomorrow, followed by full pay talks at the Department of Health on Monday, their first formal meeting for 4 months. The National Trust's decision to lease land to the Ministry of Defence for the construction of an underground nuclear bunker at Bradenham in Buckinghamshire has been backed overwhelmingly by the members. A move to censure the Trust's leadership over the decision was defeated 6-1 at a conference in London, despite a spirited campaign by a number of Trust members.
Even as they arrived, the politely passionate protagonists of this clash knew that the basic issue is already settled. Work on the bunker has begun, and there's no way it can now be stopped. About 1 in 5 of the total Trust members voted, giving overwhelming support to the existing leadership. Since the bunker involved is a military one, the allegation has been made that the opposition to it was the work of so-called peace groups. The Trust's Director General, Mr. Jack Bowles, disagreed.
I think it may have started in that way, but I think very quickly it became a more general expression of concern, and we will try to learn from the lessons one draws from that. I do not think it has been a politically motivated affair.
One of the leading protesters, Mrs. Audrey Urry, admitted it might have begun with peace groups, but it quickly became something else.
You come into a subject with one interest and clearly see that there are others. And when we realized how big this was, how much damage it's going to do, the damage that's likely to be done to the site of special scientific interest, the image that this action is going to create for the National Trust as a body that doesn't care for conservation, it was so damaging to the Trust that we felt we had to say something.
What the dispute has revealed is a lack of communication between the Trust members and the leadership. Both sides are agreed this must now be changed. Ray Maloney, ITN, at the National Trust emergency meeting.
The Pope has been visiting the Basque country in Spain, and he's told separatist guerrillas to abandon violence and what he called the paths of hatred and death. His message came just 2 days after one of Spain's top generals, Victor Largueraman, was killed in an attack by ETA terrorists. David Smith in London's been following the Pope's progress.
The Pope is travelling without his usual bodyguard, the American Archbishop Paul Marcinkus, because Marcinkus is implicated in a financial scandal that involves the Vatican Bank. Today, the priest who's replaced him was very much in evidence on arrival. The Basque country may be a seat of left-wing nationalism, but it's also devoutly Catholic, and the home of the Jesuit order, which for centuries has spread its own particular brand of Catholicism and politics, sometimes conflicting with the Vatican's. So here, faced by a very traditional Basque welcome, John Paul's message was twofold. First, at the Jesuit shrine, a message for the Jesuit order, reminding them of obedience and the need to stay out of politics. Then a word for the terrorists of the separatist group ETA, in their own rather difficult Basque language. With affection yet firmness, he said, I urge you to turn away from violence, from the paths of hatred and death. It was both an appeal to the terrorists and a warning to his clergy, because the Pope knows all too well that here in the Basque country his priests have in the past openly backed the guerrillas of the separatist movement.
Now sport. America's girls hand out a tennis lesson and Liverpool give Everton a soccer lesson. Our sports correspondent